energy principle. So based off of the title, we can immediately tell what we will be learning today: the relationship between work and energy. W net is equal to 1/2 mv squared final minus 1/2 mv squared initial. So looking at this first equation, we can see that work is equal to the final kinetic energy minus the initial kinetic energy. I don't like the way they've stated the work-energy principle here. While it is consistent with the name of the principle, having work on one side and energy on the other, and it does show that work is the change in energy, it feels less useful and analogous to real life. Instead, I will add the initial energy to both sides of the expression. This lets us see that any energy we had at the start plus the work is equal to the energy in the end. The work is positive if the work is done on the system, increasing the energy, such as a motor. It is negative if it is work done by the system, such as friction, making heat. The change in the kinetic energy of an object is equal to the net work done on the object. Just as I said before, our change in kinetic energy is from the work done by the system. We were able to deduce this with our equation above, and as diligent physicists, we should always plan out what's ahead. This fact is referred to as the work-energy principle and is often a very useful tool in mechanics problem solving. It is derivable from conservation of energy and the application of the relationships for work and energy, so it is not independent of the conservation laws. It is in fact a separate application of conservation of energy. This states that the equation they gave is a form of conservation of energy. However, in the form they gave it to us above, it appears to show that work is separate from the energy terms, while the form on the right more clearly states that energy is conserved. Math, after all, is one of the languages of physics, so the way you choose to represent an equation says a lot about how you view and will use it. However, there are so many mechanical problems which are solved efficiently by applying this principle that it merits separate attention as a working principle. It looks like this topic can be used to easily solve problems that would have been challenging, if not impossible, with just kinematics. For a straight line collision, the net work done is equal to the average force of impact times the distance traveled during the impact. So this time we're told what happens physically. We're told that the average force times the distance is the work done. Let's see if we can find an equation like that. Average impact force times distance is equal to change in kinetic energy. Wow, that was quick. It looks like we hit the nail on the head with our prediction. So looking at this, we can see that the change in kinetic energy is equal to the force times the distance. Well, this was a statement we had above, but with work. But that's fine, since earlier we stated work is indeed the change in kinetic energy. Let's see if the efficiently solved problems involve force and distance. If a moving object is stopped by a collision, extending the stopping distance will reduce the average impact force. This is simply stating that a bigger impact time gives us less force per unit of time. The easiest way to think about this is how quickly pavement stops you versus a trampoline, and which one puts more force on your feet. So looking at these text boxes here, we can see a bunch of things like car crash example, seatbelt use, auto stopping distance, large truck, small truck collision, two trucks equal momentum, impact force of falling object, and work energy principle for angular quantities. As we predicted before, these top three examples look like they involve coming to a stop in a straight line. Probably work lost to friction. We'll be going over all of these soon enough, especially the car crash. So the rate of doing work is equal to the rate of using energy, since a force transfers 1 unit of energy when it does 1 unit of work. Wow, a typo! Beyond that, this is just saying that 1 unit of work is equal to 1 unit of energy, something we already knew with our equations above. And that's all there is.